Hi, my name is Natalie Wellman, and I'm the platform coach for SDSU's forensics team. Competing in platforms was something I really enjoyed during my college forensics career because I've always been fascinated by how many different ways you can research and construct arguments to engage an audience. I love to see how each platform used arguments uniquely to accomplish a purpose because it helped me grow a lot of different skills that were really important to understanding communication. Today, we're going to be answering the question, what are platforms? To do so, we're going to talk about what platforms are generally, and then go into specific platform events you can compete with. First, platforms are what most people traditionally think of when they think about public speaking. And you've probably done some variation of these speeches in your public speaking classes. The speaker's goal is to use credible sources to construct an idea or argument about the topic they're presenting. All of the platforms are memorized events. So if you do a platform, you'll get to research, write, and practice your speech. This is super helpful if you're like me and want to know exactly what you're going to say when you go up to deliver your speech. While each platform is distinct, they generally follow the same construction and time frame. They all have an introduction, 3 main points, and a conclusion in less than 10 minutes. More specifically, there are 4 different types of platforms you can compete with: informative, persuasion, communication analysis, and after-dinner speaking. An informative speech aims to inform or explain something that the audience hasn't heard of before. The speech may focus on a new technology, a potential change in the medical field, or a new theory within the social sciences. The goal is to provide an objective understanding of both sides of the issue. After giving the history and application of your chosen artifact, you'll examine implications and look at how it may affect the world around us, for better or for worse. You want to get people thinking about how the artifact you've chosen impacts not only themselves, but the world at large. Persuasion is similar to informative speaking. However, as its name explains, the goal is to persuade you. You take a current problem, often one that isn't very well known, and explain why the issue is happening, as well as what to do about it. As opposed to informative, where you don't provide solutions, persuasion encourages you to be a better advocate, because it teaches you tangible ways to propose creative and applicable solutions. As a speaker, you want to help the audience connect with your idea and encourage them to do something about the problem after your speech concludes. Next, while communication analysis is probably the most complicated platform to explain, it's much easier in practice. The goal of the speech is to pose a research question and answer that question by analyzing an artifact using a theoretical lens. You start with an artifact. The artifact could be anything: a photo in a newspaper, a controversial article, or even the way a group of people responded to an event. Once you have an artifact, you apply it to a model. The model serves as your way of analyzing the artifact. It often comes from an academic journal or book and focuses on one main idea to help answer the question and several sub-ideas that indirectly relate to your topic. Rather than choosing a model directly about your topic, you want to find a theory that fits with your research question and is similar to what you're talking about, to compare and contrast the artifact with the idea. Once you've accomplished that, you look at the implications of your artifact, highlighting its positive and negative social and rhetorical implications. Although all 3 platforms are different, after-dinner speaking is even more unique than the other events because you get to combine any of the different types of platforms with humor. The goal is to provide a funny speech that fits one of the other categories. For example, if you did an informative ADS, you would follow the format of an informative by providing the history, applications, and implications, while simultaneously making jokes. These topics are also usually current events. However, they are often less serious, although no less important than the other platforms. After looking at what platforms have in common and the different types of platforms you can compete with, we can specifically and succinctly answer the question of, what are platforms? Platforms are a speech that attempt to entertain as well as inform or persuade an audience about an important issue to encourage change on a broader scale. So after learning more about the way platforms work, I hope you'll choose to compete in these exciting events.